Hello everyone, this is John for PokerVIP.com, and in this video we are continuing on with the grinding TonyBet series, playing anywhere from 2NL to, well, the upper stakes. So far we've seen 100NL action, and we hope to play higher in future videos. In this one, 2NL, 25NL and 25NL so far, and I'm on the waiting list for lots of other games, so whatever shows up first I will play. Grinding TonyBet is exactly what it says on the tin. We're playing all the stakes, we're talking about the differences, we're talking about how to exploit, we're talking about how to make money, and we're just getting the most out of this beautiful site that the guys over at TonyBet have created. Definitely my favourite site. Loving playing on it. And yeah, we're just going to try and make some money and basically just crush. Ace 4 here, I bet flop and I'm going to give up. Could also just give up on flop. Definitely think this V Nana is a weaker player. Just bluffed him off the last point in a pretty standard spot. But in this one, I think there's lots of hands that could call me down, so I'm just going to be done with that one. Maybe he shows that. I was going to, well, he has Queen 5, so yeah, confirmed weak player. I was going to say maybe I win best hand like Queen 10 or Queen 9. But he spied that little 5 on the river, floated the flop with nothing, checked back the turn, and hit the 5 on the river. That is how some people like to do it. Got some notables on the tables. Go Ed Emidag, always about. Poker VIP member as well. So there might be some possible dynamics from that. Although I would say he has played very straightforward versus me throughout this grinding TonyBet series. So I don't think things are going to change. And he doesn't seem the type to tilt or just do anything daft. He's just printing money away nicely. So he probably isn't a soft spot, that is for sure. I believe this is part 14. There are 24 parts in total. Make sure you go check out the previous ones. And if you're watching on YouTube, hey guys, how you doing? Good to see you in here. Make sure you go check out PokerVIP.com for another 700 free coaching videos. I'm going to go ahead and 3-bet the A6. We can mix it up between 3-betting and fatting. Basor is a reg as well. I definitely recognise him. He snapped 4-bet me, and his sizing's interesting. Good sizing there. But yeah, he snapped 4-bet me, and I'm going to go ahead and fold. He got me that time. I had an ace blocker. Main reason for doing it, you know, he's going to be opening the button a lot. He 3x'd. Some money to pick up there. But it just didn't work out for us that time. Something I definitely noticed was I just haven't been 3-bet bluffing enough. So we will definitely start bringing that into our game. This bottom corner here is for the next table that pops up to come into play. But anyone who's been a regular and watched these videos for some time will know that I basically just sit down, open the tables, and record. I don't want it to be fixed or anything. I don't want to look for soft tables. I just want to show exactly what you get when you come into TonyBet. Queen 2 suited I isolated versus the blind poster, who folds, which is great, but sadly Vinana in the big blind has come along, and he's actually pot bet led this flop. And I think with a hand like Queen Deuce, there's just nothing we can do here. I think that would be like really overcalling. And really getting into fancy play syndrome there with nothing and nothing and nothing. Really no hopes there. So we get out of the way. Ooh, ace is stacked on that board. That's nice to see. The 2NL table might go if some higher ones start. 2NL I found is just not that fascinating. Certainly to play and certainly to watch. I'd rather be seeing some bigger pots personally, so that might change. Like I said, I'm on lots of waiting lists. And hopefully we get some action coming from those soon. There's a 50 NL game running that looks pretty juicy. Can I go ahead and 3-bet this guy? If he's stacked with aces there, I've got to assume he's a weak player. And wow, Jack Deuce is a Jack 7 there. How unlucky. Some real premium hands being played. The old Jack Deuce versus the old Jack 7. And we see a 200 big blind pot. King Queen, I take it down in position. I'm looking the 5 deuce, the King 3, and the King 5. Also as well, guys, if you want to see something a bit different, make sure you go check out part 12 for the straddle edition. It was a really fun video to make. We crushed episode 13 as well. I think we won over €200 from that one, so that was really nice. 9 deuce here, we're just going to be check folding. What I'm actually going to do is bring up a 100 game. There is a guy sat, and I don't know if this guy's a poacher or a fish. Because some people like to sit with these fun-looking stack sizes to trick people into thinking that they're a weak player. But I'm going to sit and we're going to test this guy. He sits out, which is a shame, and we will give him a few minutes. All in bottom left again to notice there. Ace, queen, ace, 5. What the heck is going on? Actually, that looked maybe standardish. I'm really not too sure there. King 10, blind versus blind, we're going to open. Flop a king. And some backdoor draws, so we're going to go for a check. Basically just let him induce, control size of the pot. Think about going for turn and river value, where I'll just half pot, half pot. Or we can bet turn, check river. But I think the delayed c-bet works really well there. My goddamn phone vibrating as soon as I come on. Do apologise. Going to raise with the ace-queen. Over on the top right, 25 game. And basically if he 4-bets me, I'll rip it. Ace-queen's very strong. It's 5-handed. And like I say, this guy knows who I am. He will probably be 4-betting later. And although he's not seemed to do it, these cracks definitely start to show at some point. So I think when I've got blockers to very strong hands, it should be a pretty easy 4-5 situation. Yeah, this Funkzilla is actually a reg, I think. I'm actually looking. He's sat in a lot of like 250 NL games, even PLO, with these random stack sizes. So he's basically doing that as like the trickery, the ultimate bum hunter trickery. Hopefully you guys won't fall for it now, let you know about it. But basically just check the lobby, and if they're sat in a few tables with these random stack sizes, they are probably going to be one of those bum hunting regs. Shame, because I saw the 250 game and I thought I will sit in that and see what the guy's got, but it's the same guy. And there is no way he'll play me. 8-10 versus ace-10. Straight versus straight, chop it up. Games are busy. Nobody's really leaving their seat, so I do apologise for the 3-table action for this long. Normally by now we've got the 4 tables up and running. But I'm going to stay sat at the 100 game and just see if anyone comes and joins us. Deuces I open under the guns. Definitely hand we can fold. But when playing slightly shorter handed, opening is certainly fine. Going to start off by betting this Jack 9-9. Get a call. 8 on the turn. I think this is where we can now just shut down. Check, check, and the 4 of clubs on the river. And he shows down ace jack. If I was him, I'd probably bet the turn there. But certainly nothing wrong with that. The bottom left table seems to be sitting out. Nobody wants to play regs, which is smart, but annoying for video purposes. I'm sure a game will load soon. 8-10 we get 3-bet, and I'm going to go ahead and defend here. Heads up, certainly fine. Don't really need to turn it into a 4-bet bluff. Just going to call him. We're going to flop a top pair and good shot straight draw here. Our hand's very strong in this situation, but certainly his hand can be even stronger. So we're going to go at this cautiously. He seems to still be betting. A little funky ball. He's not sat at many other tables. Oh, he is. There he is. Okay, so he's probably a reg. Probably knows what he's doing. Probably will be double barreling quite frequently here. We can definitely have a hand like King Queen. We can definitely have Jack 10. But he can definitely have the sets, the Ace Queens, the Ace Kings. And he's bombed again here. He is bombed again. We do block 10 Jack. We block some Ace Queens and Ace Kings. So it really comes down to what this guy has at this point. We really know very little about him. He has been definitely active. But is this the guy to 3-bet, bet, bet, bet? We are really unsure. I think this time we're just going to go for a fold. Even with the blockers, we just have very little information on this guy. It looks like we're going to be playing him heads up. So we're going to go ahead and call here with the 8s. Okay, pretty bad flop for our hand. Okay, so 25-0 game just started, so we're going to go ahead and sit. Get the auto rebuy on, get us into our preferred seat, and off we go. And I will replace the 2-L if another game starts. And the 8s here I called flop and fold turn. Funky Ball might be heads up reg, we do not know. He might be awesome, he might not be. He might have just got us with a killer bluff, that's for sure. But I think once you start playing someone for the first time, you should just err on the side of caution. And I certainly think call folding is okay in that spot. Ace 4 suited, we're going to go for the open in the cutoff. I'm going to be opening pretty frequently on the heads up table. But hands like 10-5, 9 deuces will be going in the muck. He seems to be quite passive on the button as well. So maybe we just start opening a bit more. And he 3-bets really small here. Note his sizing. Not even over 3x. I'm going to go ahead and fold there, but I will certainly start peeling wider and wider if he keeps the sizing like that. Otherwise, he can just exploit us very viciously, which we never like people doing. Interesting that this game hasn't loaded up because it is very busy on the site today. Okay, interesting. Now he's 4x me. Very interesting. And in the meantime, we've got a 50-NL game going, which I'm sure you guys all love to watch. So 50-NL comes in for the 2-NL. He 3-bet me, I called. No, it's gone to the top right now. I'm going to go ahead and check once I've hit my pair. Not really too sure what his checking range will be. And the 50-NL we're going to get into spot. So 325-NL. 150-NL. Checks down here, and I'm just going to check back and assume I'm winning. But can't get called by worse. And yeah, he just shows ace-king. So interesting that he 4x with ace-king. We need to remember that. Because what was he 2.5xing with? You get me? Really do like playing heads up. Heads up was definitely where I came from. I played it for the first 5 years of my career. And I've definitely been thinking about getting back into it. Especially with the PLO side of things. Heads up PLO seems like a very fun game. We can just call it with the ace-10 suited. Flop nothing though, sadly. And this would be a flop that I don't float. If there was one club, I would float. Three, four, we fold on both tables. I quite like this 25-25, 25-50 setup. Certainly what a lot of these players will be doing. And as you can see, Goed is on the bottom, is on the 2 left tables and the bottom right table. Same with Funky Ball, same with Basor. So that's really what these guys are doing. They're just grinding all stakes, which is pretty awesome. It is pretty impressive. I am always impressed with grinders because there's not many left nowadays. Big pot bottom left. Set of 4 scoops. Queen 7 suited, very loose open. But this guy has just sat down with 40 big blinds, so we're going to put the pressure on him. I'm going to check back this flop. And we're going to bet the turn. About 2/3. And we're going to check back the river. And if he bets, I will call. But yeah, just check and assume we win. Wow, pretty... he really fancied his chances there, didn't he? King, Queen, I'm just going to call. And flop some nut draws. 4s I bet on the ace high. Again, fairly standard. And the King, Queen, very easy call. King, not the greatest card in the deck. But it will be another check call situation. Okay, we're going to go for the re-ISO here. And we're going to call the King, Queen again. Essentially, we can definitely have the best hand. Ace Queen, we take it down. We block Queen 10. We block some big aces as well. Not too sure how thin he's going to bet versus me. Like, is he betting like ace 9 or worse? Or is this always pretty strong hands? I think because I just peeled, I think I've got to go ahead and make the call here. And he's got the ace jack, fair enough. 5s I bet on a very wet board with a set. Turn, interesting because jack queen gets there. I think we're going to just go ahead and bet again. And if he raises, it's going to be somewhat distressing. So all straights get there. Well, not all straights. 7-8 and jack queen get there. But the flush does miss. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go small. Rep, I'm trying to get just thin value with like a king. And see if I can induce a raise from him. Or see if he wants to hero me with like a 10. And he just folds very quick, so that's a shame. But basically, I just don't think he's going to have like a strong hand to just call like a bomb. So I want to just like induce, let him make a mistake, or just get that really thin value. And I get a 3-bet here with a 5. It's very large, and this guy is probably going to ship it in rather than just call. So I'm going to go ahead and fold there and get out of the way of that short stack sandwich. Ernesto Cell, obviously a very good reg on this site as well. Basically, Ernesto, Bullets, Godadig, and Tony1 are the main people to look out for. Really not too sure on Funky Ball and Basor yet. But yeah, those are the guys that have definitely been playing the best. And maybe I shouldn't say to watch out for, but you know, they are the regs. Gonna go for a 3-bet here with the ace jack. All in top right. Let's see what they've got. What the hell? Oh god. Welcome to TonyBet. Welcome to goddamn TonyBet. Chop it up. Ace jack, we get called. We're going to go ahead and bet. Nice having the ace of hearts there. He's going to have some ace queens, some ace kings, some broadways, and some pairs. So I'm basically going to just bomb it off. On a lot of runouts here. Do I think he's going to fold 9s and 10s to me for 3 streets? It's interesting. But what would I do if I had aces or jacks or queens or kings here? It would probably be this. So that is a good way of going about it. Does he check jam that often here? No. Really bad river for us there. If it was the heart, it's a very easy jam because we have the ace of hearts. But we wanted to see like jacks, queens, kings, and of course aces or hearts. On that river, I think it might be a give up spot because I'm just not repping enough, and he knows this. He definitely knows that my 3-bet range is somewhat strong versus under the gun range. But once I'm just happy to like bomb this river where he's going to have lots of mid pairs and some flushes and over pairs that he won't fold, I don't think he's going to believe me. So I'm actually going to give up on this river. And he actually had queens. So he is never folding there. Like, ever. Like, period, never. His line there were queens. If I was him, I would have 4-bet it and got it in versus me, to be honest. I'm going to be shoving wide enough to make queens a profitable play like that. I don't think he's like trapping me because there can be so many bad boards for him and you can lose lots of action post flop. So if I was him, I would just go for the 4-bet and get it in. Certainly not criticizing this play, by the way. You know, he got some money there, you know, it worked. But basically, if I was him and, you know, the seats changed, I'd be very happy getting in queens there or just getting the 4-bet value in with queens pre-flop. You know, when you call out a position with queens, you know, you're going to run into a lot of difficult spots. And it really depends what he puts me on. If he just thinks I'm always messing about there, then I guess calling's fine. But I don't think he does. I think he might have been worried about a stronger hand there. Be interesting if he ever came into these videos and left some comments. It'd obviously be very cool. Going to make a very easy call with the king jack there versus the weaker player. And then the 6-8 is a very easy defend. Going to float here with the nut no pair and straight draw. Interesting sizing here. I think it's going to have to be a fold. Queen's going to go and raise. I think I'm going to go ahead and raise my 10s here for value as well. Okay, so interesting spot here because last time he opened under the gun he had queens. I 3-bet ace jack. He's seen that. So essentially I want him to start calling more out of position with wider ranges that 10s can definitely get value from. He does call. We see a jack 5-6. Don't imagine him to have many jacks. So for me, we're just going to do exactly what we did last time and bet. Gonna go for the squeeze here with the ace jack and for the 3-6. He check calls, we see a 7. Really interesting spots now because of that last hand. Ace jack here, just gonna go for a bet and hope he just folds. And the 10s I'm going to check. Not unsure what this guy's got. And it's going to be really hard for me to fold the river if he bets. But it's really weird, like, what does he bet? It's like a jack or better. Not too sure how many of those he's got. Pocket jacks. Ace jack suited, maybe. And then what? Pocket fives, pocket sixes, pocket sevens. It's pretty much all that could be. So essentially here, I don't want him to bet. But if he does bet, it will be a call. He checks. And I really feel like he bets queens plus. So I'm going to go for a bet here and assume he's got like 8s or 9s. And just bet fold. He calls very quick. And wow, he's got kings. This is just the weirdest lines ever by him. He's blowing my mind. Okay, so I think after looking at that hand and discussing the previous one, he just assumes I've never got it. And he's just like, okay, well, I'm just going to let this guy keep blasting off versus me, even though there's no real signs of that. And I have had 2 somewhat strong hands there. So yeah, basically when he checks that river, he just assumes I have nothing ever. And I'm just going to bluff. So he's not sort of like thinking, oh, he's probably got like a hand like 9s or 10s. And he's going to value bet them. He's just like, this guy has nothing, so I'm going to induce. Which I think leads us to the pre-flop decision of if he's calling with those hands out of position, then that's just what he assumes I'm up to. So now we can readjust and adjust to that. Jack Queen, I went for a 3-bet bluff pre-flop versus under the gun with some blockers. And I make a pretty standard flop check, and I'm actually going to turn check as well and basically just call any river or go for value on the river myself. Yeah, really interested if I go there. I mean, waking up with those 2 hands under the gun in those spots is very weird for dynamic. But once he checks that river, it really does tell a lot about his game and his opinions on me. River, I'm just going to bomb now and basically just hope he snaps me with like 9s or 10s or some randomness that he had before. And he does snap me there, and we might be able to see his hand. Wow, he had 5-8. So he had 4th pair. That worked out pretty well. Get a 3-bet, go ahead in position with King 9 suited. I think he's thinking, what the hell is going on today? I don't know if he's playing standard versus me or not, but this is very interesting. It is one of those great things about like dynamics in poker. It can just really change every plan you had about every spot. He's tanking hard and he calls. I mean, I assume he's got queens, kings, or aces, right? I mean, like, is that really his like 3-bet calling range out of position? Maybe. Not going to deter us though. We are just going to go for a standard C bet. Lots of good turn cards for us here. Straight draws, flush draws, pairs. That's not one of them, sadly. And this is now going to be a shutdown spot. Just when we have absolutely nothing. Before it was kind of like bluff and then it was value. So this is just nothingness. And once he calls again out of position, we've got to assume he's got somewhat of a strong range. I wonder if he checks me again, or if he bets this time, or how balanced he's playing. It really is interesting, and I'd love to speak with him, and I'd love to hear his opinions in the video. You know, what hands he had, why he played that way. Obviously, it's kind of like one of those nice spots where I'm only ever going to play him on video for these videos. We're never going to battle once outside of these videos or once these videos are over. So he might be open to like explaining what he thought about me and all that good stuff. But yeah, we're going to just check the river. Wow, he's got queen. I mean, this is just unbelievable. And then this hand over here, I'm going to get ace queen in versus Thomas. I really think he is up to no good with just so many random hands. So I think ace queen's just going to be ahead of him. You know, we saw him getting in. Yeah, there we go. Ace 8. Sadly, he's hit the 8. So first one goes to him. That is a shame. Run it twice. Available tournaments and cash games now. And I get the second one. Yeah, so I mean, it's that funny thing, queens, kings, queens in 3-bet spots 3 times in 3 very different situations and on 3 very interesting boards. So yeah, fingers crossed he will come in and talk to us. But yeah, he's definitely got the best of me today. Enjoy the 50 or 60 euros, buddy. You've definitely earned it. And really interesting lines. And again, like he checks the river. It's like, wow, like he just really assumes I never have anything now, and I'm just gonna bomb off or value bet too thin or whatever it might be. Tony 1 has made a 3-bet, and we're gonna go for the 4. Ace King's a monster, and he folds. Really cool video. Really enjoying playing. This is why poker is such a special game. So many tough, difficult spots. I actually looked at the TonyBet leaderboard earlier. TonyBet have like a 10k race. We have the 75k race. There's all the other stuff, but one thing I did notice was he was second or third in there, guaranteed like 300 or 400 euros if he maintains that position. So he's definitely making some good money by grinding hard. And today we have definitely boosted his bankroll. I don't know overall who's up or down on one another during the thing. Anyways, we get back to the game. Huge bomb here by Thomas. I'm going to assume he has nothing. They normally have nothing, these people. Ace 4, gonna call. We can definitely 3-bet it as well, but calling it once in a while is fine. A hand that can make the nuts in position is a good thing in any game. Thomas gets called, and yeah, 7-9, and you Palocker. Just with the slow roll. With the absolute hated slow roll. But yeah, Thomas, I mean, I think we knew he was giving it away. Hopefully he ships here. I can make a very quick just call. Hopefully everyone just folds and we pick up 6 blinds in equity, basically. Because we are going to have the best hand here. I mean, if we don't, then it's very unlucky with us, but yeah. We haven't crushed now, we just need to avoid that 4 on the river. Or some opportunities. There's one of them. There's quarter the pot. Oh no. Oh no. This guy runs good against me. He is definitely running good against me. But yeah, that was such a good spot. Hopefully I wake up with something mediocre here, that'll do. And if he ships on me, it'll be a very easy call once it gets around to him. For, what is it, 9 big blinds, something like that. 3-5. We're going to actually end the videos after these hands. And yeah, we knew what we were going to do. Sadly, he wakes up with a hand better than ours. I assumed he was going to be an any 2 kind of guy. That is why I was happy with the King Jack. King Jack does okay versus any 2. And sadly, we're going to lose every all in to him today on every run. So, not ideal. I mean, at least we chopped half of a run. That was at least been good. So, yeah, really fascinating video there. Dynamics played into it. Some really interesting spots versus Goed. And some standard spots as well. I think we probably lost a buy-in, 50 euros or something that session, which hasn't really happened that often on here. Up around 700 or 800 euros throughout the series so far. But yeah, we'll be back for part 15, and I will see you then. Good luck at the tables. This was John for PokerVIP.com. And now he gets in with 6 high. Unbelievable.